everybody, it's Jill today, and we're still baking here. We're baking bread. Now, do you recall we had a big startup where we did several days of putting flour and water, flour and water. So yesterday, I broke it into 3 parts, not even parts, but we broke it into 3 parts. One of those parts we made bread with yesterday. That my bread didn't look great, but it was fabulous.
I'll attest to that. I've been eating it ever since, and
So
it's
good.
wonderful.
So good. And another part we put in the refrigerator. That's our startup for the next time. See, you don't have to do all that stuff the day after day after day. That's complete. So now we have a starter that's in our refrigerator.
That's for sourdough, right?
Yeah. And so we're going to look down here. Now I know it looks maybe a little creepy. It's kind of separated. This is perfect. This is absolutely what it's supposed to look like. So if you open up your refrigerator and your container and you say, oh my God, it's perfectly good. Perfectly good. Okay? So this is what's going to go into my refrigerator. That's where it's been. And that's where it will stay until I'm ready to bake next time. Now remember, we had one more part that I set a little flour and water and I set it on the counter yesterday. That's what we're going to make sourdough with. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Look, look, look. Look at that. Look at this. See how it's very liquidy. See down there? I'm going to tip it so you can see how liquidy it is. There's this top part that's very foamy and stretchy, and then that's what it looks like underneath. So again, if you go to make this sourdough and you think that's not right, it's perfectly right. Okay? And you could stir it up, you know, but you don't have to, because we're going to mix it up when we're ready to bake bread. So having said that, we are ready to make sourdough. Let's get started. So this morning, you know, yesterday I did it all by hand, and I didn't know how many of you have electric mixers. I'm doing mine today in the electric mixer, and if you have one, great. If not, you can do it by hand. And we're gonna get all of this starter, that whole batch we made yesterday. The sour, it just smells so soury, pungent. Okay.
Get it all.
I'm getting it all. I'm getting it all. We don't want to have any of that back behind. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to add some water. This actually is a cup and a half. All right. And I'm going to put this on my mixer, and I'm just going to break up that starter with the water. Just gonna break it up a little bit. Okay, bring that down. Then I'm gonna add a couple of cups of flour, and you can expect to use about 2 pounds of flour in this batch of bread we're gonna make today. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of salt, just like the other bread had, a tablespoon of salt. And I know that it sounds like a lot of salt, but it isn't. You will be amazed at how unsalty the bread is. I'm just going to get this kind of moving around. Just beat it up a little bit there. Now I'm going to take my beater off. And remember, as I told you before, what you probably should do with all your beaters and your bowls and everything is just soak it in water. In fact, someone wrote in with a great tip about how to get it out of, you know, if you have a container that has the dough in it and, you know, it's kind of hard to get out. She said if you put flour in there and rub the flour around, and it kind of acts like kind of like an abrasive, I guess. Anyway, she said, I thought, wow, what a fabulous way to get that out of there. Okay. So I'm just going to slowly start adding flour to this until I get a knead, and we'll go ahead and I'll get this started, and then we'll just break away and come back when you can see that I've got a dough started. So we're just going to get that dough hook going, and we will be back. Okay, I am scraping down the sides of the bowl, and I'm I'm not sure whether you can see inside there or not, but you can see that I'm starting to get a mass together. See there, it's kind of thickened. And so you remember yesterday I told you that I had way too little flour and the dough was way too wet. And it says to have a firm, smooth dough. So I'm going to continue to add flour to this, and I will finish it up by hand kneading it. But this is going to, I'm going to turn around, just get started here. So I'm going to start adding flour, and once I get it to where it's actually kneading, I'll bring you back so you can see what that looks like in the bowl. So we'll be back. All right, see in there, you can see it's starting to really hang on to the dough hook, and the sides of the bowl is starting to clean itself. Well, I haven't cleaned the sides of the bowl. That dough just starts to pick up the residual. And before I'm done, that bowl really will be pretty clean on the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let this knead for about 10 minutes. And this is just a nice moderate speed. I think it's actually setting 2. And I may have to add a teaspoon or more of flour if it seems to get a little sticky, but I want a firm dough. I don't want a soggy dough, and I don't want a dry dough. So we're gonna get back to this when I'm just ready to take it off the blender or mixer, and then I'll do a little hand kneading, and then that's it, we'll be back. All right, we are ready to take this off. And it took about 8 minutes of kneading. And I only added 1 teaspoon more of flour. That's all I needed to add. Oops, that first amount of flour I used was right on. And I'll show you here, I used 2 pounds of flour in my bowl. And I'd say there's probably maybe 2-3 cups in here. So it took the majority of 2 pounds. So now I'm gonna bring it on out to my bowl, my counter here. Just put a little tiny flour on there. But it's nice and firm, it's springy, but it's not dry.
It smells wonderful.
Yeah, it's not dry. This is the way it's supposed to be. Now I'm getting my groove back. Yesterday was kind of a test pilot. Now we're ready to launch. I'm very happy, very happy. Okay, oh, this is beautiful. Look at that, nice and springy, and yet it's not wet in there, see that? Yeah, this is great. All right, I'm gonna get a bowl out. This is a beautiful bowl that the director bought me this last summer when we were traveling in Eastern Washington. Actually, it was Oregon. That's right, we were in Oregon when we bought this. So what I did was I just lightly oiled my bowl, and I put the dough in. I'll do it again so you can see. Put the dough in, and then I flipped it around. So all the dough has a light coating of oil on it. I'm going to put some plastic wrap on this, and it's going to set for 2.5 hours. We're not necessarily looking to double the size of the dough. This is really more of a slow rise, as well as more of that fermenting. Slow rise, more fermenting. So when that bread bakes, it's going to be really so sourdough. And you know, the more often that you start regenerating the one that's in the refrigerator, it's going to develop more and more of a sour flavor, and it's going to be like out of this world. Okay, 2.5 hours covered with plastic wrap, and we'll be back. 2.5 hours later, we are back, and you want to take a look in the bowl here. Now you see, it did a little rising, but you know, nothing outstanding. I mean, it certainly is a nice bunch of dough there. So I'm just going to kind of fold it over on itself to kind of deflate it a little bit, get some of that air out, and it kind of helps collect it. And I'm going to bring it out onto the counter. Oh, that's a nice dough, really nice dough. So I'm just going to kind of take some of the air out of it, just a real soft knead. Oh, this dough is fabulous. All right, and I'm going to make rounds today. I did loaves yesterday, and I'm going to make some rounds, and I'm going to cut this in half because this is quite a bit of dough, obviously. So I'm just going to, again, guesstimate it. I could have, you know, really got my scale out and weighed it, but it's really okay this way. All right, and I'm just going to kind of Move it around, kind of get a ball shape going there. Fold it, kind of, I'm going to show you, just kind of bring it in like that, and that helps just tighten it up. All right, that look good. Okay, shape of a bowl there. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then I've got two boards here. I've got a peel, and I'm going to put one of these on so it has a chance to rest. And this is just some, actually this is polenta. That's generally what you see on the bottom of breads when you get them. I'll put one on there. That, and set that aside. I've got another one here. And the other one goes on here. There we go. So I have two beautiful, beautiful looking loaves. These are going to sit for, I think it's about 90 minutes. I'll have to double check and I'll let you know. But I do think it's about an hour and a half. And they'll give it a chance to kind of just do its thing. So exciting stuff's happening here. And when I'm about 30 minutes out from when I'm going to put the bread in the oven, I'm going to get my oven going at 450 degrees. Get my stone in there so it gets really hot. And then and the director's sitting there, he cannot wait to have some of this sourdough. He's very excited. All right, everybody, we'll see you later. It's time for the bread to go in the oven. I let it rise about an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to take my wrap off very gently. Okay. I'm going to cut a couple little gashes in the top. Kind of score it there, just real narrow, not too deep, not too deep. I'm going to open up my filthy oven. Okay, and I'm going to put the bread on this stone, and I'm going to spray the oven with water. The sides of the oven, it creates steam in there, and it helps that crust get real crusty, it makes it real crusty, and then you do that twice. Now, if you don't have a spray bottle, that's okay. That's all right. Doesn't matter. My left got a little off there. That's all right. That's what happened yesterday with the long loaves. I just could not get it to get off the thing. Okay, it's in. I'm going to let 3 minutes go by and I'm going to spray the oven again. Then I'm going to give it about 20 minutes. And when it starts to get nice and golden brown, turn that oven from 450 down to 400 and let it bake out for another 20 minutes. Should hold the whole cooking process of about 40 to 45 minutes. And when it's done and it cools off just a little bit, we're going to sample it. Alrighty, we've got bread. I'm going to check this loaf just to make sure we've got in the inside. It should be around 190, and we're going. Oh yeah, we're done. We're done. Okay. All right. Let me get another placemat here. Oh, these are beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Now that's the way it's supposed to be. What I always find so interesting about these loaves of bread, you saw they were round when I put them in there, and yet look how funny it is. They go kind of oval on me. So we're going to cool this down, but I'm very, very pleased. Are you pleased?
I'm pleased.
He's very pleased. And we're going to go ahead and let this cool off enough.
Do we have to?
To cut, and then we'll be back and take a sample for you. It's bread time.
All right.
And look who's here.
The sicko.
We're very excited. He was going to bring this down here. Are you there? We're there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's that crust again, that beautiful, beautiful crust.
That's still not the crust you got in Boise.
It's not, but it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I think it had to do with the dryness. I mean, maybe that's, you're going to have to cut. I'm having a terrible time with
She's
it.
a terrible bread cutter.
I am a terrible bread cutter. Oh, well.
Cut those in half.
You want butter on yours, you want it plain?
I want one start off plain. Okay. So,
How's that?
here we go.
Pretty good. All right.
Oh, should we try the, you want to try the, ham? You want to try that?
Yeah, oh, it smells so good.
Got a nice sourdough smell to it. Nice texture. Oops. Texture.
Well,
That's sourdough French
I'm
fries.
speechless.
Wow,
That is excellent.
that is good.
The texture, the crust.
Texture's perfect. Taste is great.
People, have mercy. See, I think you're ruining it with the butter.
Yeah, but that's how I grew up.
I mean, you really taste.
Not
This
butter.
is so good.
Wow. Oh, that's wonderful.
If you're watching this and you haven't started the process, you gotta
You
do
need
it.
to.
You gotta
This
do
is
it.
great. You won't get anything in the stores that's good.
No, in fact, you know what? Once you eat it, you'll keep making it. You really will. All right.
My taste buds are diminished from the cold. Wow, that is good.
All right.
All
That's
right.
very good. All right. Success. Always.
2 thumbs up.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Subscribe. Did I say thumbs up?
I think so.
Comment.
And don't catch my cold.
Oh, don't get this cold. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.